Welcome to How To Automotive. Today we got a Kia Sportage with the 2.4 liter engine. We're going to be changing out the valve cover gasket, and I'm going to walk you step by step through that process. To do this, we're going to use a quality moly replacement gasket. I will link this up in the description of the video, along with the tools that we're using. That way, if you need to pick any of those up, you can find those in the description. We're going to get started by pulling the top engine cover off. It's mounted on rubber grommets, so you just pull upwards like this, and now you can set it aside. So on this vehicle, it's extremely sandy and dusty, so I'm going to use a little bit of compressed air and blow out as much of this dirt as I possibly can. That way when we take the cover off, all that dirt and debris doesn't fall down inside the engine. It's also a good idea to wear safety glasses when doing a task like this. So our next step is going to be to unplug the ignition coil. So you want to pull these little lock tabs, these little gray tabs backwards, and then you can squeeze the tab to pull it off. So the tab looks like this. You'll slide it back, and then there's a tab in the middle that you'll press to release it. So you're going to do this for all four coils. On this fourth coil back here, it gave me a little trouble. I couldn't slide it back with my fingers, so I used a little pocket screwdriver to slide it back and then pull it off. So the wire loom is bolted to the cover, so you're going to need a 10mm socket. I'm using a little cordless impact tool here to remove these. So there's two 10mm bolts on the wire loom holders. You're going to remove those, and then once you get those unbolted, you can take the wire loom and flip it out of your way like this. This Milwaukee M12 fuel cordless stubby impact tool is one of the tools that I'll be linking up in the description. Now what I'm doing is unbolting all four of the coils. So there's a 10mm bolt on each one of the coils that you're going to remove. Once you get the bolts removed, then you can just lift the coils straight up and pull them out and set these aside. I like to keep them in order the way you took them out and set them on your bench or wherever you keep your parts. Lay them out in order. That one, when they go back in order. So the wire loom is mounted or clipped onto the top of the valve cover here. So I'm using a little a wire loom type prying tool or door panel popping tool to remove this. So you want to get under the little tabs and pry it upwards and pop it loose from the valve cover. Once you get it freed up, you'll just tuck it off to the side. Now on the top left corner of the valve cover is the PCV hose here. We need to pull that off. So with a pair of pliers, you'll squeeze the clamp and pull the hose off and then just tuck it off to the side. Now there's this metal bracket that's used for lifting the engine right here. It's pinched up against the cover, so we need to unbolt it. To do that, I just use a standard box-end 12mm wrench, cracked it free. Once I got the bolt free a few turns in, I was able to just spin it off with my fingers, spin the rest of the bolt out with my fingers. So go ahead and spin this out, and now you can set this bracket aside. So just like the bracket that was on the front of the cylinder head here, there's one on the back here. But this one we don't need to take all the way off. All we need to do is loosen it up a few threads and let it lean backwards to give us enough clearance to get the cover off. So you can go ahead and loosen up the 12mm bolt here. There's plenty of room to get ratchets or anything you want. I'm just choose to use this box end wrench here. So I'm just going to loosen up a few threads and then let it lean back. Now on the valve cover, along the perimeter is a bunch of 10mm bolts. We're going to follow around the perimeter, removing all these 10mm bolts. So you just follow it all the way around. Once you get it all the way around removed, then down the center of the valve cover will be a handful more of 10mm bolts we're going to remove. And then when you get to the end here, there's going to be a vent hose here. We're also going to remove this before we take that off. So I'm going to take this off next. Use my squeeze clamp pliers, pull the squeeze clamp back, and then pull the hose off. Once that's off, now I'm going to switch to removing the bolts. When it comes to doing tasks like removing all these bolts on this valve cover, impact tool like I'm using here, this is the Milwaukee M12 Fuel Stubby Impact. It's 1/4 inch drive, and it makes quick work of doing jobs like this. I believe there's about 18 fasteners in all holding this cover on. So if you don't have tools like this, I would highly recommend looking into it, especially if you're going to work on your car all the time. If you were to take all these fasteners on the cover off by hand, it would take you at least 15 minutes. Doing it with this little impact, I got it done probably less than a minute or so, maybe 2 minutes at the most. And it doesn't matter which order you go. You can take the outside perimeter bolts off first and then the middle ones, or you can do the middle ones first and take the outside perimeters off second. It doesn't matter, just as long as you get all the bolts removed. Once you get all the bolts removed with a little pry bar or a flat blade screwdriver, you're going to find a safe spot on the cover to pry. I had to pry from quite a few little areas and just work my way around the valve cover, giving a slight little pries and little twist with the pry bar here as I put it underneath, and then eventually the cover will pop free like this and loose. Now you can pull it off and set it aside. The gasket on this vehicle actually stayed on the cylinder head. It was stuck to it, so I had to peel it off like this. So if yours does it too, go ahead and peel it off. Just make sure when you peel off the center ones here that none of the pieces break off and fall into the valve body. If they do, you need to be careful and find those and pick those all out. So what I'm saying is these gaskets will break up in a lot of little pieces because they get rock hard. I had to actually pull the center ones off with a pair of pliers. So now we're going to clean around the cylinder head here, the mating surface. We're going to get that cleaned out, any of the old oil or debris in there. And we want to wipe away from the cylinder head. You don't want to wipe the debris into the cylinder head. And also around the ports where the spark plugs go, you want to make sure this is all clean. Also, you want to check down these tubes. If they're full of oil, you'll need to clean that out. I'll show you how to clean that out in just a second. I was actually surprised that the spark plug tubes were not filled up with oil in this vehicle. It's very common for them to be full of oil. So one of my techniques for cleaning up the surface is to spray parts cleaner on a rag like this, and then you can use it to wipe off the debris and oil. Being careful not to knock that debris and dirt into the engine so you're wiping away. If there's a buildup of gasket material on the cylinder head, you can use a razor blade like this or a scraper to scrape it off. Also in the corner where the timing chain is, there's going to be a little bit of silicone in two spots, one on each side of the cylinder head. You want to scrape that off. So there's going to be one on some on the front and some on the back right there. So you want to clean that up. So if your spark plug tubes are full, this is how I clean it up. So I use compressed air in a rag like this to blow as much of the oil out of the tube and up into the rag. You catch it in the rag. You want to wear safety glasses when you're doing this. Also, you can use some parts cleaner and spray it down into the tube. Make sure the spark plug is still installed. You want to flood it out in there, and that'll help break the oil down. And then you can use the rag again and the compressed air to blow the oil and parts cleaner into the rag. And then after you do this a couple times and get the majority of the oil and debris out, then you can remove the spark plug and you can dry off the spark plug. You can also use a rag and a pick tool like this to shove the rag down in the hole and dry it out as best you can. Now we're going to clean up the valve cover itself. You can put this in your parts washer and wash it down. You just want to make sure when you're done it's thoroughly dried. Maybe give it a little bit of time to dry out. You can also use parts cleaner and spray it. The main portion of it is the channel where the gaskets ride. You want to get that as clean as you can possibly get it. So I cleaned mine up in my parts washer. I use a little bit of compressed air to dry it all off. So after cleaning it up, I installed our new moly gasket into the valve cover. You just press it into the cover. You just line it up and press it in. It only goes on one way, so you'll be able to tell. So you'll make sure it's fully seated into the grooves on the valve cover here. So now that the gasket's installed, the next step we're going to do is put a little bit of black silicone right here where the timing chain meets the cylinder head. On the corners here, there's a front cover that mounts there that can possibly leak from there. So I use a little bit of Permatex black silicone. It's called the Right Stuff, and put a small little dab on there. After that, we can take our cover. We're going to lower it straight down onto the cylinder head. You're going to make sure you push the wiring harness and everything out of the way. Nothing's going to get between the gasket and the cylinder head, and then drop it straight down. Once it's dropped straight down onto the cylinder head, then we'll start all the fasteners. I like to start the fasteners in the corners and then maybe a couple in the center to help center up the cover onto the top of the cylinder head. And I'll do about 5 or 6 of these fasteners like that. And then I'll switch over to my tool here and I'll use it to run them in. So I'm going to run these down until they just barely touch, and then after that we're going to torque all these down in a very specific pattern, and we're going to do it to a torque setting, and I'll walk you through that process. Yeah, you don't want to tighten the bolts up with the impact tool. This actually has a setting where you can drop the torque way down on it so you don't accidentally over torque it or anything. And I'm just going to run all the fasteners in until they're all just basically touching bottom or bottoming out, but they're not really torqued down. And then after that, then I'll torque them all down. So I've printed out a diagram of how they want this cover torqued down. So what we're going to do is we're going to start here in the middle, and we'll start at number 1, then we'll go to number 2, which will be right here, and number 3, and 4, and 5, 6, and 7, and 8 is right here in the middle, somewhere right here, and then 9, 10, and so on. So we're going to follow this diagram. We're going to do this in 2 passes. The first pass, we're going to torque it down at 6 foot-pounds. The second pass, we'll do it at 8 foot-pounds. So we're going to do this twice. So the first pass, we're going to set it up at 6 foot-pounds. We're going to torque these all down to 6 using the diagram. When you're torquing these down, you want to ease the torque up. You don't want to jerk the torque wrench, so you want to slowly go up to the torque. Once you feel it click, or if you're using a digital type beep, then you'll stop. And then after you do the complete pattern, we'll set the torque wrench up to 8 foot-pounds, and we'll do it again. Now that we got the cover all torqued down, we're going to take the wire loom and clip it back into the valve cover. So you're going to press it back in. Then the metal bracket that we took off the front here, we're going to go ahead and reinstall that and tighten that down. And once again, I just used my box end wrench to tighten this down. I just tightened it up to a snug and about a 1/4 turn more. We're going to do the same thing for the bracket in the rear. We're going to tighten that back down. So right here at the front of the valve cover, we're going to install the PCV hose here back onto the PCV valve and put the clamp back on. Now we're going to take our ignition coils and go ahead and drop those back in and bolt those up. So I like to start all the fasteners by hand. I also had them all laid out in order. If you get them mixed up, it's not a big deal. I just like to do it that way. So now we got those all installed. We install the bolts, and we'll run these down until they're snug and about a 1/4 turn more. I also just ran these down with my little impact tool on the lowest setting. I'm not torquing them down with this or anything. I'm just running them down till they're snug. And then I'll switch over to a regular ratchet like this, and I'll just give them about a 1/4 turn more. So you don't need to bear down on them super tight. Just make sure that they're snugged up. After getting the ignition coils all tightened down, we're going to install the vent hose right here. So you'll press that on, and then you'll start the clamp or slide the clamp back into position. Once you got the clamp installed, now you can take the wire harness and flip it back into position. And we're going to put the 2 10mm bolts in. We're also going to plug in all the coils. So you want to plug them in, push the little lock tabs in until they click. I'm going to do that for all 4. It's actually easier to plug the coils in first, and then you can start the bolts for the wire loom holders here and bolt these down. So I'm going to run these down until they're snug, and then about a 1/4 turn more for ratchet. Now you're ready to install the top engine cover. These rubber grommets mount on these little ports here. These little metal brackets mount on the brackets back on the back of the valve cover. So you'll just line it up and you'll just press them straight down. I will link up all the parts and tools that I use in this video in the description. I'm Brian Essick from How To Automotive. I'd like to thank you guys for watching, encourage you to subscribe, invite you to head over to the howtoautomotive.com website for more valuable videos like this. Thank you again for watching.